In this video, we're going to be looking at operators. In JavaScript, operators are symbols that perform specific operations on values of variables. So there are times you have data and you need to perform some operations on the data to get results from the data. So to be able to perform those operations, we make use of operators. So operators act on one or two values and return a certain value based on the operations that was done on the values. So there are times you need to do some operations on data, like adding of values together, subtracting from one value to another, multiplying, and so on and so forth. So to be able to perform those operations, we make use of an operator. So in JavaScript, we have different types of operators based on the operations they carry out. We have arithmetic operators, we have assignment operators, we have comparison operators, we have logical operators, we have conditional or ternary operator, we have type of operator, we have instance of operator, and we have bitwise operators. So these are the list of operators we have. We are going to look at the operators in details. We'll pick each of these and we'll look at them individually. So we are starting with arithmetic operators. So for arithmetic operators are the math operators we make use of. The simple math or arithmetic operators, or I'm trying to look for a word that can use instead of operator, but the simple math, these operators help us to carry out simple math or arithmetic operations on numeric values. So operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulus. So addition, when you want to add two numbers together, I have two numbers, I need to add them together. So okay, this was from the previous video, so let me delete this. Don't need it anymore. Create another file, operators.js. So let's say we have two variables that contain our data. So I say let if you remember, this is a syntax for creating a variable. So let's say the first number is 70 and the second number is 15. So if I'm going to add these two numbers together, okay, I need an equal to sign here. So if I'm going to add these two numbers together, I need to do this. So I want to add these two numbers together, and the result will be stored in another variable called sum. So let sum equal to first number plus second number. So this is how we do this arithmetic operation. So we have first number and second number, and we need to add the two numbers together to store in a third variable called sum. So we say let sum be equal to, so we say let sum equal to fn plus sn. So in this case, this is the operator. So this plus is the operator we are using here to add the two numbers together. So that's for addition. Then we have subtraction. So subtraction, this operator is used to subtract one number from another. So if I have first number and second number and I need to subtract the second number from the first number, I can simply do this. So this to use the subtraction operator. Then we have multiplication operator. Now in normal math, multiplication, the operator or the operator for multiplying numbers together is this. So we have something like this, but when it comes to programming, we make use of asterisks. Right. So to multiply two numbers together, you make use of this operator, which is the multiplication operator. So we have fn times sn. So these two numbers have been multiplied together and we have the answer stored here. Okay, so then we have division. So this operator is used to divide two numbers. So if I have first number and second number and I need to divide them, I can do this. So I can divide first number by second number and I get the answer. Then the last operator is a modulus. So this is used to get the remainder when you divide two numbers. So if I divide first number by second number, it will give me the remainder. So in this case, we know that 50 can go into 71 and 20 will remain. So if you take 50 from 70, we have 20. So that means if you do fn modulus sn, we have the answer of 20. So this operator gives you the remainder when you divide two numbers together. So let's see how we can I want us to test these values quickly and see the results. So an alternative to let me launch my browser. So we are not yet working on the full project yet, and so I will use this to be able to test our code. I'll do something like this. So when you look at your browser, first go to right click and go to inspect if you're on Chrome, and then come to console. Now the console gives you an environment where you can test JavaScript code. Subsequently, we can say that we can also print to the console. So when you are working on a project, there are times you can print on the console to see what is happening with your project, your web application. So for now, we want to test our JavaScript code here. So I'm going to copy what we have here, first number and second number, and then we can do our operations with it. So let's test. Now I want to print the value of first number. I can do this console dot log fn. Okay, so that means the values were created. Okay, so let's go on to add. So I can say sum equal to 70 plus fn plus sn. So I've added the two numbers together. So let's see what sum has now. So I can say console.log. By the way, console.log is how we print values to the console. So if you want to print something to the console, you use console.log. So like I mentioned before, if when you are working on web applications, there are times you want to print something on the console to understand what is happening with your application. So to be able to do that, you use this command console.log. So we can see that our sum now is 120. So if you do 70 plus 50, we have 120. So the addition is going through. Then we have let's do sum now. It's equal to, this is not really sum. Okay, perhaps we can use let ans to be more specific. So let's say answer is equal to fn minus sn. So that is for subtraction. So I want to perform subtraction operation on this. So let's see what we have. Console.log ans. Okay, so if we subtract 50 from 70, okay, yeah, these are the values. So if we subtract 50 from 70, we have 20. Great. So the next thing we want to do is multiplication. So I can say ans, since I've already created the variable, and you can see that the system is highlighting the value already when I type it. So ans now is 20. That's the current value. So we are going to, since we have already created ans as a variable, we don't need to declare it here again. So what I will do is to assign a new value. So I will say fn, that's first number, times sn. Okay, and I have, it has printed the answer as well. So when you multiply the two together, 70 times 50, we have 3,500. Also, let's do division. So I can say fn divided by sn. Okay, and I forgot my equal to here. Okay, so if I divide first number by second number, I have 1.4. Then the last operator is the modulus. So I will say answer is equal to first number modulus, and this is this operator modulus, this percentage sign, and sn. So first number modulus second number, or first number mod second number, and this is the remainder. So we see we have this remainder here. So to access the console here, to be able to run your application or just test run your code, so this is just to test run your code. This is not going to be here permanently. So if you're working on a real application, this is not where you write your code. You write your code in an environment like this, and then you execute it, you run it in the browser. So with that, you always have your code stored in a file, and you can always make updates to your code, do whatever update you need to do, and publish it again. So but for now, we just want to test run our JavaScript code and see what is happening. So that's why we made use of this console. So if I refresh this, you can see that there will be nothing here, and if I do ans that we created before, you can see that I don't have access to it again. So once you refresh this, all the code you type here will be gone, and so you won't be able to access any of them again. So if you're working on a real application, you need to write your code in something like this. You create a file and then you write your code here. And once again, to access the console, you open a web page. You can even be on a web page. In this case, I'm not really on a web page. I'm just on Chrome. Then right click and inspect. So once you do that, you come to click on console, and then you have access to it. So you can type your JavaScript code and hit enter, and they will get executed, and you see the output. Okay, thank you. That is it for this tutorial. See you in the next video.